Hello and welcome back to another edition of the Andrew Eborn Show, where again my special guest is Andrew Simmo Simpson. So Andrew, thank you very much for joining me again. Now, last time we were talking about your fantastic Facebook posts of a mixture of, well, roller coaster. I say fantastic, we have some fantastic laughs, but there's also been you bearing your soul on some occasions. And if you like, it's been a safety net, hasn't it? Because it means that a lot of your friends and family and supporters in your darkest moments can turn around and say, actually, we are here for you. There is a reason that we need you in your life, in our lives, and we want to help in any way we can.
Yeah, it's true. And vice versa. I'm there for other people as well. I get calls from other people that have got problems and things like that. You know what I mean? So one good turn deserves another. I always brought up to be like that. And also, you should never look down on somebody unless you can help them up. You know, and I'm a big believer in that. Keeping that on Facebook. You know, end of the day, you know, we're all in this world, all this on this planet together. We're all going to do as best for each other. You know what I mean? There's one or two things I don't agree with, basically, but there you go. My vice to carry, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, my problems. But yeah, it's we're all about inspiration and things like that. One thing I'll look at. I don't know. Have you got Twitter?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. If you go on there and look at Joe Trancini, yeah, it's Joe Pasquale's lad. You know Joe Pasquale?
Of course, absolutely. And his son is brilliant as well, yes.
Yeah, well, he goes on, he does his mental health thing on his Twitter page. Now, he's worth listening to and looking at, and probably getting on the show as well, if you can. But if you go on and look at Joe Trancini's, he does this thing with his split screen, like a split personality, but it's him that's in both screens. And one of them's wearing some sort of shirt, right? And the other one's as him, you mean? And but they're both him, and he interacts with himself in these two, in this split screen thing. He's very clever how he does it, and you know, and one of the days he might be talking to, he might have like a T-shirt with suicide written on it, so he's talking to suicide as a character. He talks to suicide about this, you know, about how he's feeling and stuff like that. It's pretty good. You know, so if you want to do something on mental health, he might be another one to get on.
No, I very much welcome Joe. Joe is brilliant, and his son is brilliant, and it's wonderful. Firstly, it's wonderful that people have the bravery, if you like, to talk about these issues, because especially I think there's been a mindset change, if you like, because many years ago there was a sort of stigma attached to mental health. And if you broke your leg, people say, oh, well, you can see, and they make a joke about it, and they sign your cast and everything. But if you had a mental health issue, people used to hide it, and people used to suffer alone. And I think what's happened, there has been a change of attitude, which has been helpful, hasn't it? People are prepared, especially more and more people in the public eye, are prepared to talk about their own difficulties and their own demons. And that's a comfort, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Well, I did a thing on mental health for Barnes Critical newspaper, and I told them, I said, sometimes I feel like walking around with a bandage on my head. It's an unseen illness. It's an unseen illness is mental health. Like going out to jobs. It's an unseen illness is mental health. And like you say, if you broke your leg and you got a pot on it, people know you broke your leg and got a pot on it. But if you they can't see it and they don't believe it, they think you're making it up and things like that, you know what I mean? And so it's like I said that one day I'm going to walk around with a bandage on my head, and I said, what's wrong with your head? I said, well, I don't know, it's screwed up his head, but thanks for asking anyway, you know.
Yeah. But and you're right, and again injecting that humour into it. And so people like Ruby Wax and Stephen Fry and various others who speak about their challenges, because particularly in the entertainment industry, we find that a lot of people who are out there and performing and have a very ebullient personality. I mean, it was just a few days ago that it was the anniversary of Robin Williams having taken his own life, and a lot of people just didn't know, and they didn't realise that he was struggling with his own demons, and in the end made the terrible, terrible decision to take his own life.
Yeah. And they were genius, they were comedy genius with the fella. But yeah, and the day there's a lot of entertainers out there. I used to talk to entertainer friends who don't mention, but not my question mention. But there's other entertainer friends out there that I had, and they've got problems. You know what I mean? But a lot of entertainment problems is finance, and like I said, I used to go out there to cover up my own depression and things like that. That's all I could think about because, like I said, making people laugh is music from the heart. And I'm the composer. That's the word of composer of that music.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you know, and I could have had a really rubbish week. You know what I mean? Really rubbish week and things like that. But once I walked down stage, I felt a lot better. It used to make me feel better. So made people feel better. I was a therapist. I do people therapy. You didn't know it. Laughter therapy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People,
Absolutely. And I think what's really powerful, Andrew, as you say, is that it's that moment when you realize, and you went, and because you posted it on social media, on Facebook, you must have known that a lot of people, thank goodness, would see it and recognize that cry for help. Because when you were posting, and it was only a few days ago, and those dark moments when you felt as though you couldn't really take any more, what made you decide? What made you decide to put it on Facebook in that way? I mean, thank goodness you did, because it meant that you could hear the support that you got. What was going through your head to say, I'm going to post this on Facebook?
I don't know. I don't know why I did it. After I did it, I thought, I should have taken it down. I thought, no, bugger it, I'll leave it there because I don't know. I don't think it's a cry for help as such, but I think it might be a way of saying to people, look, you might think I'm all right, but I'm not. You know what I mean? Yeah, you might think I'm all right, but I'm not. I'm not all right. I'm not. I have good days and bad days. I have good days and bad days. Like when I left school, I couldn't read and write when I left school. I didn't know left and right when I left school. I still can't write now. 58-year-old, I still can't write. I've got through life. Right? I've learned to read, and I've learned to read because of Facebook. But until Facebook came along, I've read very badly. I mean, it's like if I type anything, it takes me ages, 3 times, 4 times longer than anybody else. What I've got to do is when I put words in, I'm dyslexic. I've been diagnosed as dyslexic. When I put words in, I've got to basically put them in and wait for spell check to come up and say that looks right. They're not right. The words. I've got to rely on spell check and do it on Facebook. But I can't physically write with a pen. You mean? I think I know why I can't write with a pen. Because when I was a child, all the Simpsons, my son, my brother, my uncle, my dad, all my uncles, my cousins, all the Simpsons are all left-handed. Yeah, and I'm right-handed. So when I was at school back in the late 60s, early 70s, I used to write with my left hand, and I could see the teacher now, she was a writing dragon, and she used to make me write with my right hand, and every time I picked the pencil up in my left hand, she used to jump on me like tin of bricks, and no, like she used to grab my fingers and I'll make me hold the pen in the right hand. And I think that's why I can't write, that's why I struggle with writing, because the brain can't distinguish between left and right with writing. Now, what's the word? Ambidextrous because I've scripted writing in both hands. Can't write with either hand really. But yeah, so I think that's why is because I was made to write with my right hand in them days, and the right dragon was teacher hated it. Well, everybody hated it.
And they say, if you give me a child till the age of 7, I'll show you the man. I think a lot of it is if you're getting that pressure at school and you're getting the bullying, and people didn't really understand in those days about things like dyslexia and things which are now part of the language everywhere. People understand, they've got a better understanding about not just dyslexia and dyspraxia, but mental health issues. Getting that help early on would have made a difference to your life, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah, it would, but they didn't have it in them days. It's like when I went to comprehensive school, I was put in what they called the remedial class in them days. That's for kids that didn't quite make the grade. You know what I mean? It's put you in there so other kids on the bicycle get on with education. You're not holding them back because teachers spending time with you. is in this remedial class, you know what I mean? And yeah, and it was awful, really, comparison to what it is nowadays. Like you said, they didn't understand dyslexia and dyspraxia, and they didn't understand autism and all that. I think I've got lots of that sort of thing, autism and ADHD and things like that. I think I've got a lot of that as well, but I was never diagnosed with it because it was never invented in them days. You know, like I said to my wife the other day, I said, our dyslexia before it was invented. You mean, never heard of it.
And so many people, and I'm not a fan of labels, but I am a fan of people having better understanding. And so many people sometimes find it such a relief to say, okay, now I understand why I've got these challenges. And I think having that recognition, because beforehand it must have been terrible for your self-esteem.
But it is because it's like my wife fills all my forms in for me. I get dead embarrassed because she starts to fill all my forms in for me because I can't fill them myself physically. And if I have to fill one online, it just takes me so long to do it. It's unbelievable. You know what I mean? You know, spend like what people are doing a day, it takes me half a day to do. You know what I mean? But yeah, like anything else. But I've got through life. I've managed. I've run 2 or 3 businesses over the years and that, and I've got there. You know what I mean? And I've got through life, and that's the main thing. You know, I've faced with challenges. It's been embarrassing when people actually do things and things like that. But you know, that's another thing. I used to make jokes about myself. You know what I mean? I'm a big fella at the moment again because I yo-yo with weight. Yeah. And that doctor says, what's life has she ever been? You know what I mean? The other day when I see him, he says, what's life's fate you've been? 6 pounds and 11 ounce.
Yeah. I think it's, as you say, you always inject humour into a situation as one of the coping mechanisms. But also, I think, Andrew, it's looking at the great skill that you have as well. It's like the creative side. I mean, coming up with your Brussels sprouts and chocolate is ingenious. You know, you're genius stuff. It's a wonderful start. And it made global news. I mean, looking back at those sort of moments, that wonderful creativity that you have, that fantastic sense of humor, and the joy, as you say, you are the conductor for making a lot of people very happy.
Well, it's like creativeness. It's like when we were in the shop and we were doing chocolates, I came up with this idea. I dreamt about this idea, and I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I went down to the shop for 24 hours there, right? And I made this idea out of chocolate, and it worked. Right? And I sold loads of them. And what it was, they were a bar of chocolate, a dark chocolate, right? Maybe Belgian chocolate shell, right? In the bar model, what you make about like a chocolate shell, and then I put orange chocolate through it, and then sealed it off with dark chocolate, so like an orange chocolate sandwich, right? Beautiful. And dreamt that up one night, went down to the shop and made it at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Nice.
I can't stop up the next morning, I got loads made. So you know, I dream ideas as well, and I don't think my mind stops when I go to bed. I don't think anybody's mind stops, but some people, when you try to be creative, I don't think your mind stops. It just keeps going. You know, I had loads of good ideas when I've been asleep. You know what I mean? And I've solved a lot of problems.
And you can tell, and this is what I love about creativity. But creativity so often comes with a price, doesn't it? And it's, as you say, you clearly have. Well, I see your posts probably at the same time as you post them. So I wake up at crazy hours as well, and always delighted, as I say, to see your posts. Why do you think you wake up so early?
Pain, mainly. But I'm on a lot of medications. I have a lot of medications. I've got heart trouble as well. I've got all sorts of problems. I haven't just got mental health problems. I've got heart trouble. I've got arthritis. Yeah, so I've got all sorts of problems. Anyway, cut long story short, it could be medication, but a lot of it's pain as well. It's like I've always turned in bed and need crap. And everybody's joints crack, but mine cracks with pain. So if I turn over in bed and my knee cracks, that's me done. I'm up all night. so I can't sleep. Hopefully, on Monday I've got to self-isolate for 14 days, go into hospital for an operation. But they're going to cut the nerves in my knee because I'm a big fella. I need 2 new knees basically. But I'm in catch-22 situation. I can't walk very far. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do it diet only. I've stopped drinking. I'm trying to do it diet only. I'm struggling because it's not coming off quick enough. So I'm having to. So basically, I love walking. I used to do 3 feet to Yorkshire in 6.5 hours, which is 26 miles up downhill. Did them 2-3 times a year. You know, what I mean, 26 miles up downhill. I used to regular up time, and basically, and I love walking. I just physically can't walk. You know, it's like I came downstairs this morning because we were all going downstairs toilet. So I came downstairs to the toilet this morning, went upstairs, and really big way. I nearly fell down steps. And it gets you down when it's like, I get wife to help me down steps, get out of bed to help me down steps because I couldn't walk down steps. Anyway, you know, and it's embarrassing because wife I'm fast asleep, and you know, and I had to wake up to help me down steps because I felt like I was going to fall, you know, and it's like all the time. And like I said, pain and mental health don't mix at all. Terrible mix. And it's like I feel like walking in. I'm going to hospital they're going to cut the nerves in my knee, the pain receptor, pain clinic in my knee. So hopefully then the pain will go away. I started on morphine patches on Friday. It's not even touching it. You know,
And when's the operation due? Or are they waiting until you do lose the weight?
No. I'm not having my new knees until I've lost weight. But this operation you can do without losing weight.
Right.
And it's to get me mobile again. It's to kill the pain receptors in my knees. So basically, I will get no pain from it all being well. Yeah. It can be a bit of a dodgy operation. But, at the end of the day, I'm desperate to get walking again. I'm desperate to get out of the house. I'm desperate to move. I'm desperate to be able to start driving again. Yeah, I can't drive very far. I used to have a PSD and a goods license. I could drive trucks and wagons, and coaches when I was in things like that, entertainment and stuff like that. And I love driving. I just physically can't drive because I'm cramped up all the time. I'm all right passenger side, so it sets my legs out. When I'm in driver's side, I'm cramped up. I get to the point where my knee will seize up and I can't get out of the car. So, and also my bad knee, my right knee. So it's the first one out, last one in the car. Yeah.
Right.
And I've got to stand on it either way. My knee, my bad knee to get out of the car. When it's seized up, it's not good, so I can't really drive. I go down to my daughter's car. I go back to my dog, which is only like 2 miles. I'm all right doing that. I couldn't drive no long distance or anything like that. I just can't get out. I can't move. So basically, they're going to do this thing with me. So what I've got to do, I've got to self-isolate 2 weeks before. So 7th of September, I'm having the procedure.
Okay.
So I've got to self-isolate for COVID-19 from Monday for 2 weeks. And then I've got to go on the 4th of September for COVID-19 test before I'm going on Monday. So, yeah, it's all good stuff.
Well, no. Well, I think the good thing is that we'll get you back, and you can continue to. I mean, keep us posted on your journey. And as I say, the helpful thing is, and because you are using social media, you can see the love and the support that you've got. Now, there'll be lots of people who'll be watching this who are either directly going through similar sort of troubles and depression and so on and so forth, or know somebody who is. And I guess if somebody knows somebody in life, what advice, what would you give to them? You talked about using humor, you've talked about your family and understanding how, with your grandson and so on and so forth, how important you are in their lives. What advice, first of all, would you give to somebody who's in the same or similar position to you and suffering from depression? What advice would you give to them?
Easy. Talk about it. Whoever, whether it's Facebook, it's the same as me. If I'm just put it on Facebook, there's people on there I've never met, never probably never will meet. You know what I mean? There's some people there that are their friends that have been friends for a long time, but it's the same as a lot of people I've never met, never will meet, no doubt at some point. But it's like
And for those, yeah, and finding the positive things, as you say, talk to people, try to have that sort of understanding. But in addition, then, for people who are seeing people suffering or suspect that somebody is suffering, how can they be supportive? What can they do to help?
listen. Don't listen. Don't judge. You know what I mean? So, for example, if people talk about the problem, don't give them advice. You know what I mean? Don't judge them on what they say. Just listen to them, talk to them about the problem, how they feel. Have a good day. Send them a text message on the morning. Put a joke on Facebook. Do something positive, because that's what they want. That's what people with mental health problems want. They want positives, they don't want negatives. They don't want people saying. They don't want people being negative. There's got enough of that in their life. They don't want people, and there's a lot of people out there that think like mental health is it's not there. You're making it up. You know what I mean? And things like that. Yeah, I've been in business for most of my life, and I've lost everything to it. I lost my shop to it. I lost my business to it. I lost my entertainment to it. I lost everything to it. So, but to go from that to what I am now, it's got to be real. It's got to be there. You know what I mean? A lot of people, like I say, think oh, you're swinging it all the leg, he's doing this and doing that, or she's doing it, or whatever. You know what I mean? Just because I can't see it, doing back to what we said earlier on, putting the bandage on the head. But at the end of the day, people have got to listen to you. Now, just if people aren't prepared to listen to you, right, they're not people to talk to about your problem, because they don't want to know about your problem. They might have problems themselves. They might not be bad people. They might be going through it themselves and struggle to listen to other people's problems. So it's a bit of it's a bit of it's a bit of you let me and out you type thing. You mean, you know, six to one and a half dozen other. You've got the people you talk to have got to be people who are prepared to listen. But because people aren't prepared to listen, it doesn't mean they're nasty people or bad people. It means that they might be going through the problem themselves. They might be struggling to listen to you. I mean, so just because people don't want to listen to you or struggle to listen to you, don't judge them. You know what I mean? Do you understand where I'm coming from?
You know, absolutely. So, I mean, it's clear you're encouraging people to speak about, to realize some of the good things in life, and also, as you say, to listen in a non-judgmental way, basically, to say, look, we hear you. And is there any practical support? Because I know, and it's so I think it's difficult for everybody involved, because it's people want to try and help and be supportive, but at the same time they don't want to say the wrong thing. And I think you're right, and it's important to say don't be judgmental. Is if somebody can see somebody suffering and to listen to them, is there are lots of third-party help as well that might be able to help. There are apps that people use for mindfulness. There are counselors and so on and so forth. Is there any practical guidance that you would give people?
Yeah, don't if you get like suicidal thoughts and things like that, don't act on them. Just step back from them and say to yourself and think about the people that you're going to hurt, right? And the damage you're going to do. It's like, you know, the people I've found out from Facebook alone, people on there that I've never met before, I've never probably will meet, but the amount of love on there is unbelievable. Getting nasty ones as well, you're going to get them everywhere. But the amount of love that you get from these people is good. And just talk to people. That's all it's going to be, is talk to people. Get professional help. Go see your GP. If you're going to stop yourself, if you're going to have any problems with anything like that, and go to the A&E and tell them, right? They'll get you help. There's Samaritans, right? There's your GP for help. There's Right Steps, which is like a national charity thing, but they're professional. They're there. It's free Speak to Help. There's local mental health people. There's lots of people out there you can talk to. There's, you know, yeah, don't bottle it up. Talk about it, and talk about it to the right people. Like I said there before, if people don't want to listen to you, it's not because they're being nasty. It's because they're having the problems themselves. It's like we're Andy's Man's Club, brilliant, absolutely superb. I highly recommend it, but it's not for me. Still support them financially and things like that, and do things for them and stuff like that. I'll go to an odd meeting, and I'll go to an odd Zoom meeting. I have Zoom meetings as well at the moment. I'll go to an odd Zoom meeting and things like that, but I struggle with a lot of like Alcoholics Anonymous. I mean, I went to there a few times when I started drinking, and I struggled there because people sit there and talk about their thing, basically. You get people that have been sober for 20 odd years, 50 years, and they're still talking about their thing. And I struggle to listen to other people's problems. You mean? I talk to everybody about my problems all day, and I'll listen to other people's problems. But it's the group thing. You mean, it's the group thing that I struggle with. You know, when you're in a group, like if you have mental health problems, you want to talk to me as a mate, I'll help you with it. But when it's strangers telling you their problems in a group situation, I struggle with it. And it's not, you're not just reading one story, you're reading about 20 stories at night. You know what I mean? And if you're just like you and me talking about it, I'll be one of your listeners talking about it. That's fine, I can cope with that. I struggle with groups, you know what I mean? Group therapy stuff. So, yeah.
So it's useful to, as I say, people take comfort and find different things are helpful for them. But as you say, there are resources out there. There are brave people such as yourself who will come and talk about their own experiences and things like that. But Andrew, it's been such an honour and a privilege having you on the show. And I know a lot of people will take comfort. A lot of people will watch out for those chocolate-covered Brussels sprouts, because I think that'll be an absolute joy as Halloween approaches. It's come around very, very quickly. And the Wide Awake Club, you will know that 30 years ago this week, I always look forward to your posting. Yeah. As I say, 30 years ago this week, it wasn't the Rolling Stones, it wasn't George Michael, it wasn't ABBA. Do you know who was at #1?
What's his name? Timmy Mallet.
It was Timmy Mallet from the Wide Awake Club. And I thought of you, and I saw that. We talked to Timmy, and we had Mike Reed on the show as well. And do you remember the name of the song?
Teeny weeny, polka dot bikini.
It was Itsy Witsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini. And he had a band called Bomb Ballerina. That was the name of it. And Bomb Ballerina was taken from the musical Cats, and Taylor Swift played Bomb Ballerina in it. So she's had 25 #1, 25 top 40 hits, and Timmy Mallet's had that one as well. So it's a glorious thing. So I will always think of you with the Wide Awake Club and TBAM and Timmy Mallet, which is brilliant. I will look forward to your future postings. Please, you do realise, as you say, there's so much love and support for you, and anytime you need help, just reach out. And there are people who want to listen and want to help, and treasure those moments and treasure those who you mean so much in their life, as you say, whether it's your grandson or the family or the many, many friends that you have.
Yeah, that's good.
And Andrew, thank you very much for sharing. And do come back and tell us how you get on over the next few weeks as well.
I will do, no problem.
Anytime. Okay. Take care, Andrew. Thanks a lot for joining me.
Keep smiling, mate. Look after yourself.
And you.
And stay safe, everybody.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So thank you very much to Andrew Simmo Simpson for joining me. Those of you who are affected by the issues, and there are many of you who've been writing into the show, do get in touch, guests at Octopus TV if you'd like to come and talk about it. And there are resources out there. Do talk to people. People do want to help, and you yourself are cared for by many other people. Reach out. It is important to talk. You're not alone. And the more you can talk and the more you can share your experiences, the more others actually will benefit, not just from your being here, but being able to support you as well. Thank you again to Andrew. Thank you to you for joining me. Until next time, be good, be safe. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.